Hey cruisers, I'm Sherry with Cruise Tips TV. Welcome back to our weekly vlog. Today we're going to cover a ton of fun and exciting cruise news, starting with the fact that Norwegian announced this week that they are going to be upgrading their loyalty program called the Latitudes program. I don't know if you all heard about that, but it sounds like everybody's going to be getting free champagne now, which is really cool. However, this is such a big topic that we've decided we're going to do a little mini episode on that separately. So stay tuned. We will be doing that very, very soon. We also heard some very exciting news that Carnival Ecstasy just got the 2.0 makeover. So I have a little bit of information about what that means for all of you folks who like to cruise out of Charleston, South Carolina. This is so exciting. Charleston is a place I would love to visit sometime. And it looks like now everybody over on that coast is going to have all the fun new things that we have on this coast on Carnival Imagination and Carnival Inspiration, which are also fantasy class ships. So Carnival Ecstasy got some new spaces. They got the complimentary, totally free Guy's Burger Joint and also free Blue Iguana Cantina, and also my personal favorite, the Alchemy Bar and cherry on top. So that is so exciting, you guys. Yay. If you are going to be cruising on that ship and would like to look at some ship tours and vlogs of a ship that's really similar, we did a full vlog series in September on Carnival Imagination, also a ship tour, a food tour, so much more. So be sure to check that out. You will find a lot of similarities. The ships are not identical, but there is a lot that you will find kind of crosses over, and it will be a really fun watch for you. So be sure to check those out. What else do we have? Well, some of you asked how our Cruiser of the Week is selected. That is something new that we started last week for the first time, and we are just going to be looking at whoever we feel is appropriate for the week. There is no specific criteria. There's nothing that you need to do. We do, however, always really appreciate all of your contributions and help answering questions and things like that in the comments of our vlogs, and we're going to be taking that into consideration. Otherwise, totally up to our discretion every week. There is so much more news, and I think my son is going to ask me a question about something very exciting that we heard about this week. Are you ready, son? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see here. I wonder what he's going to be talking about today, you guys. I think I have a little hint for you. I think that it may perhaps have something to do with the most exciting new ship announcement of the week, and that will be Vista's sister ship. So are you ready to take it away, little guy? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so Brandy Whiting asks, "Hey Sherry, did you hear the great news? The Carnival Horizon is coming to New York City summer 2018. Super smiley face. So happy she will be in our home port. Well, for the summer, she'll be in Miami for the winter." And that is all.
That's all she said. Well, thank you very much, Brandy, for the awesome news. Yes, we heard about it. Thank you, son, for sharing that news with me.
You're welcome.
Do you think we should talk a little bit more about Carnival Horizon with everybody?
Sure.
Sure? We talk a little bit about how awesome it is and where it's going to be going? Okay, let's do it. All right, you guys. So I have the full press release here from Carnival, and like Brandy and my little guy said, it is coming to New York City the summer of 2018. But first, Horizon is debuting in the Med, so over in Europe. Looks like right now it's still in the Fincantieri shipyard over in Italy, and it is going to be doing its first sailing April 2nd, 2018. So not this year, but next year, with a 13-day Med voyage. Then it will do several more 7-day Mediterranean voyages, and then it will do a 14-day transatlantic from Barcelona to New York, and then it will spend some time in the Big Apple, like Brandy told us, and May through September of 2018, awesome cruises from New York to, it looks like probably down to the Caribbean. So it looks like they're going to be doing Grand Turk, San Juan, and Amber Cove, May through September 2018. Then after the New York summer, it looks like it will settle down. Horizon will settle down in Miami for a year-round schedule of Caribbean sailings, and that starts in September 2018. And it looks like there will be a real short kickoff cruise from Nassau to Nassau from Miami, September 20th through the 22nd. So if you want to get on that first sailing, the 20th through the 22nd of September out of Miami is the soonest that it will be down in Florida. So thank you, Brandy. Thank you very much, son. We also had a couple of other subscribers talking to us and letting us know about Norwegian offering bidding on cabin upgrades. So thank you to Paul Olowa and Beetle Urban Gardener. We'll put their comments up on the screen here. We appreciate it. They wanted to know what we think about Norwegian offering bidding on cabin upgrades, and did we know about it, and included some cool links for us to review. So I think it's amazing. Norwegian is one of those cruise lines that always calls you for cabin upgrades anyway, in my experience. They're generally paid upgrades. I love the fact that they're opening it up to a bidding system. I think it's the coolest thing ever. We don't have all of the details on this yet, but we do have a little bit of information. It looks like Norwegian is letting us know that in order to bid, you have to get an invitation from Norwegian. So we don't know who is going to be eligible for that invitation. That ought to be very interesting. It's up to their sole discretion. No way of knowing. And it looks like when you get an invitation, you can submit a bid on up to 2 categories higher than your current class service. So I don't know exactly what that means either. If anybody knows exactly what they mean by class of service, what I don't understand is if that means that within your cabin category, you can go up to, or if you can go outside of your category. So for example, if I'm in an inside cabin, can I go 2 categories, meaning like like outside to balcony? Or does it mean I can just go 2 categories higher within the inside cabin category? You know what I mean? So I think we're gonna figure that out. But very interesting stuff. I'm sure we'll learn more. I'm not going to try to pretend to be an expert on this just yet because I don't think that anybody really knows what's going to happen. But hey, if you guys get an opportunity to bid or an email from Norwegian offering you the chance to bid, I really want to hear from you all about your experience so that we can share it with our subscribers. Please, please, please let us know. All right, our first actual question today, not related to cruise news, is from Ginger Johnson. Ginger is wondering if I have any episodes regarding seasickness after disembarkation, which is called MDDS. She said she tends to rock for a few days after the cruise and then it goes away. Is there any way to treat it? All right, well, here's the deal, Ginger. There is no way to treat it. It is, MDDS stands for mal débarquement, which is a French term. Basically, kind of loosely translated, probably means you feel bad after you get off the ship, right? This is something that is not understood well at all in the medical community. What we do know about it is that it's some kind of a disorder of the body's balance system. So anytime any of us gets off a ship, we all have maybe an experience of feeling like we're rocking for a few days, right? But this syndrome, MDDS, these people who are stricken with this, it goes beyond the 2 days. They can be stricken with these sensations for more like a month to a year, and it's really hard to treat. It's coincidentally does seem to strike middle-aged women more than men, and I really feel for you, Ginger, because there really isn't anything you can do about it. I've experienced this to some degree on cruises before. I don't as much anymore, and I don't know if it's because I cruise more often, but when I first started cruising, I probably had this happen to me where I had the sensation for probably 2 weeks after, and I would sit down at my desk at work and feel extremely dizzy, like I was still on the ship, and I would feel like I was still swaying. I had difficulty walking, all kinds of wacky stuff like that, but it doesn't really happen to me as much anymore. But I know that it is relatively common, and I hope that we can find some kind of a cure for this. I think that it just doesn't get talked about that much, and that's why we don't hear much about it. But if anyone has tips on that, please leave it in the comments below. And thank you, Ginger. Joseph Miranda asks what our thoughts are on bringing a passport off the ship during an excursion. Do you think a passport wallet is a good investment as well? Joseph, I don't recommend taking your passport off the ship in an excursion. I do recommend taking your regular photo ID, such as your driver's license, like the ship recommends, but do not take your passport, leave it in the safe. Awesome question about a passport wallet. Yes, I totally think passport wallets are a good investment. I think you mean those little holders that you can just put your passport in. I like them. I think they're great. If it gives you some peace of mind and it's something that helps you out on embarkation day, go for it. We think they're great. I use one that hangs around my neck so that on embarkation day, I have all of my stuff at my fingertips and I look like a total cruise geek when I wear it. But I like all of my documentation, my photo ID, and a pen for filling out that survey you have to fill out when you get there right at my fingertips. So I think Travelon makes some of those, Lewis and Clark makes some, and there are some in our store on Cruise Tips TV / marketplace. Did I say that right, honey? Okay. Cruise Tips TV / marketplace is where we have our store where you can buy things from Amazon, and they are in there. But there are tons of great wallets out there on the market. You could also look at places like discount stores like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Ross. On occasion, they will have some. All right, so the next question comes from the Justice Jen. Do you have any success on keeping the weight off when you cruise? It's so hard to resist all the delicious food, and jogging doesn't seem as fun on the ship as people watching. What do you guys do to stay food disciplined? Okay, the Justice Jen. I do not like jogging on the ship either, but I will tell you we are extremely active when we go on cruises. Usually my little pedometer here, this is a Garmin VivoFit that I got refurbished on Amazon, logs between 12 and 20,000 steps a day on a cruise. So we are constantly walking, doing excursions, swimming, motoring around the ship, and usually that really helps to cut back on the bulge. We do not restrict food on cruises by any means. However, my husband and I have different methodologies for kind of coping, and we have different things that we really like to indulge in. So I'll tell you how we handle it. I do not indulge in a lot of desserts because I'm not much of a sweets person. So I would rather have 2 appetizers like a salad and a crab cake and maybe even a French onion soup than have dessert. So that's where I really watch the calories. And I also don't feel well when I have sugar. I also would prefer to have as many cocktails as I feel like having on board. So that's how I handle it, but I don't restrict. I do sometimes in the dining room try to stick to protein and veggies with my main course, but usually the fettuccine Alfredo calls my name by like night 3 and I'm not really that good about it, so I don't want to lead you astray there. Now, my husband is kind of the opposite. He likes desserts. He likes the ice cream machine with my son sometimes, and he's a little bit more, he's going to save his kind of indulgence for the sweets. So he's more likely to order maybe 1 or no appetizer and a light entree like a grilled salmon and some vegetables, and then enjoy the tiramisu, if that makes sense. But for us, it's not about food discipline. It's about massive amounts of activity. I usually gain a little bit on a cruise. Truth be told, I did have one cruise experience where I lost 1.5 pounds, and I think it was because it was our first cruise vlogging, and I was wearing myself out. I was like running around all the time and getting up really early in the morning and wanting to cover everything, and I kind of didn't have as much time to eat, and I kind of forgot to eat sometimes, so that happened. But usually I put on 1 pound or 2, but that's it. And then as soon as we get home, we're actually kind of sick of all of the indulgence. And in our house, we just kind of, naturally taper back on the indulgence and we shed the pounds pretty fast, both my husband and I. So I hope that helps you a little bit. That's a fun question. I really am glad that you asked it. And if you want to watch a fun little episode, we did a no weight gain cruise episode. Not a lot of people have watched it. We thought it would be kind of a big hit, but it turns out maybe it's kind of depressing for people to think about. But you can search in the video section, no weight gain, and watch that episode. It's kind of fun. Our next question comes from Bethany Meyer, and I'd love all of our subscribers' input on this in the comments below. Bethany's going on a big family cruise to the Eastern Caribbean for 6 nights on Carnival Conquest, and they're traveling with a group. She wants to have some tips from us on cruising with a fairly large group in various ages. There are going to be 8 to 10 of them, 25 to 70 years old, including her in-laws who have some mobility issues and can't walk for long periods of time. They want to know some fun things to do on board and in port. Okay, a couple of things for you, Bethany. I know you and I have already talked about dining a little bit offline, but I want to talk with you about the group situation. I think it's really important that you and your group do not feel pressured to be together all the time. On these big family cruises and things like that, it is not, I think most of us think that we need to try to plan things together all the time, but it really isn't something you have to do always. I would plan, however, to meet together every night, no matter what happens, to make an agreement that you're all going to be together for dinner. It's wonderful, it's memorable, it's a great photo opportunity, you can catch up on your day. Regarding your ports, what I would recommend that you do, considering the mobility issues and the size of your group, is to try to rent some private vans in these ports. Get on TripAdvisor and do some research about private tours in advance. The cost is going to be great for you because you're going to have enough people to justify a private tour. Those with the mobility issues can sometimes have their activities modified, while those of you who want to go jump on the beach and have a little bit more activity will still be able to do that. So count on your tour guides and your drivers to modify based on the activity level, okay? Hopefully that helps. If anybody else has some tips for Bethany on group cruising, we would absolutely love to hear it in the comments below. This topic has come up in vlogs before and it's a hot one, so help us out. Now, we also need to help Royce today, you guys. Listen to this one. Royce Staley has the coolest cruise ever planned. They're going in December on Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas, and they want to know if any of our viewers have been on the ship and what's been their experience. So if you've been on that ship, it's likely that you are from Australia or Asia, and they want to know a few things to do in Sydney as well. So Australian cruisers, we have many of our subscribers are from Australia and New Zealand. We would love it if you would help Royce out. Tell them all about Ovation of the Seas. Give your tips in the comments below, and thank you in advance. We have a tip from a subscriber this week named Sandra Erickson, and Sandra has a really awesome real life tip that I love. I love it when we can talk about things that maybe we don't necessarily, we hope we're not going to need, but we are glad that we packed. Sandra suggests that if you have a medical problem or medical condition, it might be a good idea to take your medical history sheet with you on a cruise in case you run into some emergency. Sandra said that hers includes her allergies to medicine and the name of her physician in case she needs it. And it sounds like they were in Hawaii a few years ago and did take that information with them, ended up having a medical emergency on vacation, and really were glad that they had their medical facts with them. So I hope that everyone has enjoyed this action-packed and information-packed vlog today. I have to tell you guys, I was at the mall the other day and it is like crazy good cruise shopping season. So if you are going on a cruise soon, I recommend you stop by the mall because all the spring stuff is coming in and it's awesome. I had a blast at Old Navy. I got this top with the fun little pineapples on it and another top with an anchor on it that I posted a photo of on Instagram and that you're gonna see in an episode soon. And I got this shirt for my husband that I love. Can you see this okay in the screen? I don't wanna mess up the focus, but it has a bunch of knots on it. And it's really cool. It's kind of subtle nautical attire. If you like this kind of thing, I think it's great. There's a ton of stuff at Old Navy right now in that beautiful navy color. They have all kinds of striped stuff, just a ton of stuff. So of course I have absolutely no stock or interest in Old Navy. This is just friend to friend, me telling you, get out there and shop, you guys. There's some fun stuff right now. Also, don't forget to follow us over on Instagram for tips like that. We love to post photos of random stuff when we're shopping, and Facebook and Twitter. We do post different types of things most of the time on all three of those platforms. Sometimes they all cross over, but depends on what social media you like. So go check it out. We would love, love, love to hear your episode ideas, tips for other cruisers in the comments below. Anything that you would like to talk about, please let us know. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.
Cruiser of the week.
Hey, click me to subscribe. What were you doing over there, monkey man?